Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Hebrews with Brady Randall.
Today we'll look at verses 4 and following, which show and prove that Jesus is superior to the angels. And verse 4 in Hebrews 1 is a transitional verse that deals with angels. And so I want to look at verses 4 to 9 and then 13 and 14. Here's what we read starting in verse 4. So he became as much superior to the angels as the name he has inherited is superior to theirs. For to which of the angels did God ever say, "You are my son, today I have become your father"? Or again, "I will be his father, and he will be my son"? And again, when God brings his firstborn into the world, he says, "Let all God's angels worship him." And speaking of the angels, he says he makes his angels spirits and his servants flames of fire. But about the Son, he says, "Your throne, O God, will last forever and ever. A scepter of justice will be the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has set you above your companions by anointing you with the oil of joy." And then verses 13 and 14. For to which of the angels did God ever say, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet"? Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? Now, angels were the subject of speculation, and potentially even angel worship was happening at this time. And the author says, but Jesus is better still. He became as much superior to the angels, meaning as the Son of God, he has always existed. But now in his exalted state, as for a time he was made lower than the angels when he was born, he lived a life of humility. When he became a man, he walked on the earth. But now, having died and risen from the dead, he became superior to the angels by way of what he accomplished. And when it says his name is on par with his essence, his character, who he is. So all that belongs to the Father belongs to the Son. And while the angels were called sons of God, no individual angel was ever just called a son, and Jesus is. And the author, again, because he's speaking to people who are steeped in what is now our Old Testament, he uses 7 Old Testament quotes to show the superiority from the angels. In verse 5, he quotes Psalm 2, which was a messianic psalm, which pointed to the Messiah that was to come. And the author is saying, this is Jesus. He came down in time and space, and he was the very Son of God, and God is his Father. And in verse 6, the author makes a reference to Deuteronomy 32 and Psalm 97 by saying, "Let all the angels worship him." And one of the primary roles of angels is the worship of God. And here he's even saying that the angels themselves are worshiping Jesus, who is God. So of course he's superior to them. Angels are simply servants of God to do his bidding. And verse 14 adds, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" Here again, Psalm 110 is quoted to show that Jesus is reigning. And not only that, for to which of the angels did God ever say, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet"? So Jesus, he's reigning, he's triumphing over enemies, and the angels are ministering to those who will inherit salvation. In our culture today, we get really fixed on angels and the study of angels. I mean, there's books and books on angels. There's shows, books and movies and shows about angels. Satan himself was a fallen angel named Lucifer. And so angels are certainly very interesting, especially some of the named angels that we see in the scriptures. But they are created beings. And you may have even heard this. I've heard this a lot at funerals, that someone dies and then someone often says, well, God got another angel in heaven. Well, let me tell you this, not to kind of ruin that mentality, but people do not become angels. Angels are created beings, and they were created to worship God and serve his people. And if you're a follower today, what this text says is that angels are available to you as ministering spirits, maybe ways you haven't even seen or noticed. In fact, in a later chapter in Hebrews, it says that some people have entertained angels without even knowing it. And as awesome and intriguing as angels are, Jesus is over the angels. The angels themselves fall at Jesus' feet and worship him, and they're at his beck and call. The angels are subservient to Jesus, so will you and I be as well.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.